Time now for sports on SSPTV News.
Welcome to this special Dave Day Lady Cougar Spectacular. And Dave, we hope we're doing this again in a few days because that will mean the Lady Cougars won the state championship. The Hazleton area softball team, congratulations to them on their way to the state 6A softball championship. They will take on Hempfield, but to get there, they had to beat Springford, and they did that 8-5. Dave Seaman was at the game at Parkland, and Dave, they went down 4 runs early, the Lady Cougars. We talked about this earlier, about how much experience they do have in big games. The younger girls on the team have played travel ball, so they have the experience. It seems like they answered right back in that bottom of the second inning and didn't really flinch.
It seemed like once the first person got on, things kind of snowballed. Well, I hate to say snowball on a day when it was 90-plus degrees, but things kind of snowballed. And we've talked all season about their ability to hit up and down the lineup. And once one person got on base, the next person got on base, and you had that little chain reaction going. And it seemed like the next person didn't want to make the first out or the second out or even the third out because they got once they got on the scoreboard and made it 4-1 and 4-2 and 4-3. Next thing you know, Tiana Trion's hitting a 2-run single and Lady Cougars are up 5-4. And it's I think that eased them a little bit. They did say there were some jitters. They admit that there were some jitters, but you get up in a game, you give Erica Book a lead, and then you're able to relax on playing defense, and you're able to relax coming back up to the plate then.
And Dave, 25 years of the Hazleton Area High School, celebrating that anniversary this year. There have been so many great Hazleton Area High School softball teams. This team will have the pleasure of being the first one in history to make it this far to the state championship game. I know it takes, bounces to go your way sometimes, but what has been so special about this run and about this team?
I just think it's the combination of, solid pitching from Erica Book, who, as I wrote about in Tuesday's edition, is not an overpowering pitcher. But she knows where to put the ball. She changes speed. She gets people off balance, and that's definitely her strength as a pitcher. And it's been like a lot of Hazleton area pitchers over the year. What this team has, I think that maybe some other teams didn't have, is that balance up and down the lineup. Where the number 9 hitter Taylor Cost comes into the playoffs hitting less than 200, but it seems like every game she's getting a big hit, and that's just indicative of this team. There's a lot of talent on this team. There's a great blend of the older players, the Megan Travel pieces, the Hope Kinneys, and the Taylor Cost, and you mix them with the younger players, Marissa Travel piece, Tiana Trion, Kira Antolik. And then the people in between too, Taylor Kashak, all that girl does hit the baseball or the softball in this case, and she had 3 hits the other day, setting the table. Becca Rossi, outstanding center fielder. She does a super job as far as putting the ball in play or bunting the ball, whatever the team needs. And outstanding. I think she's 19 for 19 now in stolen bases. So it's totally a team effort. It's cliche to say that, but it's definitely true for this team.
And Dave, they seem to exude confidence as well. They're a pleasure to cover. I mean, you talk to them, they seem mature beyond their years, the seniors, and I haven't really talked to some of the younger players, but I just got that from day one with this team. While maybe even I had some questions about if they could duplicate what they did last year, they seemed super confident they would be back in this situation with the chance to go even further than they did last year. Speaking of how much fun they are to cover, I read in your article they are planning on wearing their softball uniforms to graduation that night because it was graduation that evening. You said you couldn't confirm that, but more fun from the Lady Cougars.
There's no doubt about that as well. I couldn't confirm that either, but Hope Kinney said she was convinced she was going to be wearing her uniform underneath the gown, and hey, if she wants to do it, I wouldn't argue with Hope. I mean, Hope's been a leader for the program, for the team for the last 4 years. Her and Megan Travel piece have been there through some tough times early on when they had the different coaching changes, but through it all the team has been successful. Their personalities have stayed true throughout the 4 years, and like you said, it's a joy to cover these girls, and like Coach Heather Nat said, if anybody deserves to go to a state championship game, it's this group of girls, because what they've been through and what they meant to not only the Hazleton area softball program, but Hazleton area athletics and the Hazleton area in general, not just the high school, because they are a true testament to the area.
Yeah, great representatives. And Dave, let's talk about that state championship game. It will be Thursday at 4 o'clock out in University Park at Penn State University. Hazleton will take on the defending 4A state champion, Hempfield, of course, before they switch the classifications this year. Very good team there, Dave. A long winning streak for them. You said they have a very talented pitcher in Morgan Ryan heading to Notre Dame. But when I talked with you on the phone after the game in Parkland, you seemed very confident. You said the Lady Cougars are going to hit.
They're going to hit. I mean, that's their MO. They hit up and down the lineup. They put the ball in play. I think they had, I don't think they struck out at once yesterday, maybe once, but I can't remember many times where they actually swing and miss the ball, because even their strikes, they're usually a take and strike or they're foul ball. It's a team that makes contact. If the Lady Cougars, not only can they hit, but they could take some solace in the fact that Chambersburg, the team that lost to Hempfield in the semifinals, had 9 hits and they scored 4 runs against Hempfield in the semis. So anything is possible. You play one game, and Hempfield had a chance to. They won it last year 1-0 over a talented pitcher in Avon Grove. If the Lady Cougars hit, this one might be more of a 5-4, 5-3 type game, and Lady Cougars will take their chances if they get in that kind of score.
If Dave and I look exhausted, it's because we are, and it's because of our local sports teams, though, Dave. I know Dave loves doing it because that means they're doing well, and we love giving them the coverage. Check it out again in the Standard Speaker and on SSPTV News.